Okay, let's look at this problem number 2, homework number 8. There is this beam and the loading shown. Determine the magnitude and location of the resultant of the distributed load. So he need to know the magnitude of the force and the location of the force, the location of the resultant force. And B, he need to know the reaction at beam support. You can see here there is a hinge at A, which is reaction AX, AY. And there is a ruler here. There is a B, or you could call it BY. Okay? And there is a parabola, concave up, 20 pound per feet this side, and 80 pound per feet this side. You can see that this parabola could be a rectangular and another parabola. Okay? So I'll try to rearrange like this. Okay? So this full parabola could be a 20 rectangular all the way 18 feet, and then 0 from here all the way to 60. You see, the whole thing is 80. 80 minus 20, it's a parabola 60. And 20 is all the way at the 18 feet. So it's a rectangular and a parabola. Just to make it simple for me to analyze this loading. And remember, here's 18 feet. Okay? Now, the parabola, we need to know this, that the parabola, this is x and this is the height. I don't think we need to memorize this, but he should give you that the centroid of a parabola from this side, from the 0 side to the higher side, the centroid, it's 3/4 the x bar. And the y bar in the h, it's 3/10h. This should be given. And now we need to go to the parabola. We're going to call this is area 1 and this is area 2. The rectangular is area 2 and the parabola is area 1. Now, let's go to the component 1. What is the area here? Well, the parabola, and this has to be given too, that the area of the parabola is 1/3 18. This is the distance. 1/3 18 times 60. So 1/3 18 times 60, that's the area of the parabola. 1/3 18 times 60. And that's equal to 360. Remember the centroid? The centroid of the parabola from here is 3/4 18. 3/4 18 is 13.5. So we found the area of the parabola and we found the centroid in the x-axis. Okay? Now we could find out x bar A, because we need to find out the location of the loading. It's in the x-axis. Okay? So x bar times A, we found it to be 4,860. Now let's go to the next shape. Shape number 2. Remember, this one was 20 and this one was 18. So the area is 20 times 18. 20 times 18. And the x bar, remember this was 18. So the center of 18 rectangular, it's in the center. So 18/2 is 9. So this times 9, 3,240. X bar times A. Now you have to sum up all the areas and you have to sum up all the x bar A. We could find x bar by dividing the summation of x bar A over summation of A. So 8,100 feet cube over 720 feet. X bar is 11.25. Therefore, the resultant area, which was given, it is 11.25. Okay. So the summation of the area, remember, it was 720. That's what we mentioned before. And this is equivalent to the resultant. Okay, 720 pound going down. Because the area, if you multiply 1/3 times 18 times bound bare feet, it will give you bound. And that is bound down. Remember? We have this loading, bound bare feet. Remember here? If you look at this, this is bound bare feet. So if you multiply 1/3 times 18 feet times 60 bound bare feet, feet with feet, you will end up with bound. So the area is the actual loading. So the summation of the area, 720, that is the resultant loading, 720. And this loading acts at 11.25 because we found X bar, 11.25. So this one, it has to be equal $720 bound. Okay, and the distance from A, because this is the location of the centroid. The location of the centroid is from A here. Okay, is equal to 11.25, and we find X bar. That's the centroid. The location of the force 720. Now we have 18 feet, and we have the reaction B, and we have the reaction AY or A. Remember, AX is there is nothing else in the x-axis, so AX is 0. So summation of forces of X equal to 0, AX equal to 0. Summation of forces of Y, you can see that 720 in the negative, A plus B plus. So A plus B minus 720 equal to 0, which means that A plus B equal 720. Again, we did summation force of X, we did summation force of Y. Now, the next is to find what's the third equation? Summation of moment. Let's take summation of moment at A. You will have 720 going negative times 11.25 and B going positive times 18. So summation of moment at A, B times 18 minus 720 times 11.25. So this will give you B is equal 450. And our assumption that B is going up. So B, since it's positive, so it's still going up. And we have A plus B equal to 720. Okay, so we could find A. Since we know B, we could find A. Okay, so that's the end of question number 2. Thank you.